Great victory. Brutal strike. Ukraine drone destroyed dozen Russian tanks in eastern Ukraine. Russia has suffered huge losses in the Kharkiv region as a Ukrainian drone strike wipes out an entire armored vehicle column. In footage released on social media, 5 Russian armored vehicles can be seen desperately scrambling for cover as Ukraine's 45th Brigade launched a devastating drone strike. The soldiers are caught unaware as the first missile lands near one of the vehicles before several successful strikes wipe out multiple targets. The attack was geolocated to the small village of Mala Komashuvka south of the city of Kharkiv near the front line. Russia has relaunched offensives in the east of Ukraine in what local officials believe is a distraction tactic aimed at diverting Ukrainian forces away from the main battlefield. Ukrainian presidential advisor Oleksiy Arestovich said he believed fighting in and around the east, away from areas such as Kharkiv, would not determine the outcome of the war. He said, "The idea is to put military pressure on us in Kharkiv, Donetsk, and Luhansk over the next few weeks. What is happening in the east is not what will determine the outcome of the war." It makes the drone strike just south of Kharkiv a particularly devastating blow for Russian forces as Ukraine continues to have success in the most pivotal areas of conflict, forcing Russia to try to maintain their offensive with a dwindling source of military equipment. Russian tanks emblazoned with the letter Z were spotted in Ukrainian territory just yesterday, having been captured by the defending nation. It is believed they are to be repurposed for Ukrainian forces and used against Russian soldiers. And Ukraine has put on display hundreds of destroyed Russian tanks and military vehicles in cities such as Kyiv as evidence of their success against Putin's forces. But elsewhere, Ukraine has admitted that Russia has achieved partial success in recent days, with President Volodymyr Zelensky describing the fighting in the Donbass region as hell. He spoke of fierce fighting around the town of Avdiivka and the fortified village of Pisky. The Ukrainian military said on Thursday Russian forces had mounted at least 2 assaults on Pisky, but that its troops had managed to repel them. Ukraine has spent the last 8 years fortifying defensive positions in Pisky, viewing it as a buffer zone against Russian-backed forces who control the city of Donetsk about 10 kilometers, 6 miles, to the southeast. General Alexei Grimov told a news conference that Ukrainian forces had recaptured 2 villages around the eastern city of Sloviansk, but had been pushed back to the town of Avdiivka's outskirts after being forced to abandon a coal mine regarded as a key defensive position. Russia's defense ministry said its forces had inflicted heavy losses on Ukrainian troops around Avdiivka and 2 other locations in Donetsk province, forcing Kyiv's mechanized and mechanized infantry units to withdraw. And video footage released by the Russian Defense Ministry showed Russian rocket launchers in action and tanks advancing and firing at speed across open terrain. Meanwhile, video footage shared online this week shows the aftermath of a Russian tank in a Ukrainian farm field being struck by Ukrainian ammunition. The video starts with the military vehicle in the middle of the field, already on fire. Seconds later, another explosion occurs without additional ammunition striking the vehicle, suggesting that the blast was caused by ammunition stored inside the tank. The video was shared on several Telegram accounts and reposted on Twitter. Researcher Arslan Zudosi, who uses Twitter to post commentary and information about Russian vehicle losses in the 2022 Ukraine conflict, said that the video was recorded somewhere in southern or eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian forces destroyed a Russian vehicle during battles in the south/east. The vehicle can be seen detonating again after ammunition detonates, Zudosi notes. It's not the first time that a Russian vehicle has suffered this fate. Russian tanks have been recorded exploding from the inside throughout the Ukraine conflict and even earlier, due to a phenomenon known as the Jack-in-the-Box effect. Video footage shared online in June by the land forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine showed a T-72B3 tank turret lying next to the vehicle. The footage showed the result of the Jack-in-the-Box effect, which sees the tank's stored ammunition explode and destroy the vehicle from the inside. The footage showed the vehicle on fire and surrounded by plumes of black smoke after reportedly driving over a mine and later being hit by Ukrainian ammunition. The T-72B3 is a modernized version of Russia's Soviet-era T-72B tank, but the vehicles appear to have the same design flaw that made the older tanks vulnerable. The same design flaw also existed in Russia's T-80 and T-90 tanks and is primarily a result of the design of the vehicle's autoloading systems. While the design makes it easier for a small crew to load the ammunition while operating the vehicle at the same time, it means that the ammunition compartment can explode when the vehicle is hit by enemy artillery. Any soldiers inside of the vehicle at the time of a strike will surely be killed if the ammunition compartment is compromised. The problem has been known by the Russian military and foreign militaries for several decades, too. The design flaw was first noticed during the Gulf Wars in 1991 and 2003 when Iraq's Russian-built T-72 tanks exploded as a result of their own ammunition detonating.